There are many wannabe call loose. So what solution are you bringing to them that they should jail their mentors? No, they won't do that. That's far-fetched. So Nigerians love their oppressors differently. But for the good of all, it is always very ideal to continue to put this before all of us, okay? So that we can all know, say we know what we do. Nobody can claim ignorance. Oh, and I didn't know. Oh, I wish I knew, Sha. Shut up your mouth, you knew. You always knew. It's because your preference for your own typical Nigerian in you allow you to lie. Lie. Oh yeah, lie to me. That you did not know. Oh, I never knew that. Oh, I wish. How come we are just knowing this? Oh, really? Come on, put up the act. Oh, yeah, let's pretend that we didn't know. That's why we have to do this, so that you can stop pretending that you did not know, that you are an enabler or somebody who pretended to be sitting on the fence and very quick to jump down from the fence once I'm from the fence once one of your own criminal mentor, I've been a mentor, is mentioned, and they have to be sacrificed for the cleansing of Nigeria. No, don't do that. Then you have an opinion. Then you are politically correct. Then you begin to look for respect. Don't you have respect? Don't you have home training? Is that how you were raised? Well, this showed to us that this is how you were raised. I mean, I remember when people used to say that to me. They said, I don't get respect. Don't you have home training? You cannot be talking to older people who are old enough to be your grandparents. Are you serious? So I lack home training for calling out career criminals, young and old. I mean, no get home training for calling them out because I'm not respectfully calling them out. Sir, call you, sir. Sir, please, sir, now. Yeah, will even start call you, sir. Because look at it this way. It goes both ways. In fact, I am a very good example of a proper upbringing. Yeah, I am. Because I could have joined them. Because I don't know who raised these people. I don't know their parents. Listen to me. Nigerian criminals from the east to the north, from the middle belt to midwest, from Niger Delta to the southwest. You all have all the criminals. We are all well represented in this criminal enterprise. Don't deny that. Yeah? We are all represented in this criminal enterprise. And I have said this before, even though we might be pointing out the marginalization here, marginalization there, the state-sponsored profiling of the Igbos, these are established facts. But two facts, two truths can coexist. The second truth is this: there is no part of Nigeria that is not marginalized. No single part. The Shege is well democratized. Now, all of our people make up the total number of the poverty capital of the world, which Bokwari made Nigeria. We all share in all of this. We are all marginalized by the system that continues what? To victimize our own citizens. So you are not spared. Nobody is spared. And that is why when you look at those who are perpetrating this on us, have you ever asked yourselves, who are their parents? How were they raised? What kind of home training did they give to these your politicians? Did their parents raise them to be murderers? To be ritualists? Drinking and bathing with human blood for power? to be kleptomaniacs, cold-hearted criminals who will loot the public resources and watch the same public suffer in agony. Who raised them? Is that a proper home training? Would you say your politicians are given proper home training to do this to you? Did their parents raise them to do this to us? Is this a sign of good home training? No? So you should never in your life ever have anything to say to me and say I lack home training while I'm talking about born criminals that you are celebrating in Nigeria. They put the pictures of their parents up. Oh, my mother, Ashage, you raised me well. You did a lot for us. You suffered for us. When our papa died, you raised all 11 of us. They are praising their mother. And a lot of you are just like, oh, yeah, tata to be more. Àwọn ìyá òṣì tó bímọ olè. Àwọn bàbá wèrè tó bímọ olè. Àwọn dámbòróbá. Because that's exactly what it should be. You don't look at me and say, I have to respect those criminals. So mad. The people stop saying that to me. I lack home training. They don't say that to me anymore. They now said, I am proud. Some said I am arrogant. It doesn't matter. For every action, there is an expected, counter or opposite reaction. I cannot be talking about your role models, born criminals. Now you are not going to look for something to say to me too. You lack home training. Thank you. Like your criminal leaders. Mine is fair. It's not hurting you. I am not hurting people. I am not hurting you. I am trying to put balm to soothing your pain and at the same time letting you understand where that pain is coming from. I am your friend. It doesn't matter if you see it that way or not. That is why you are watching this. So that a lot of you will know what you need to know. And if you want to lie to yourself, and all of us can begin to lie to us and pretend that we didn't know, and then you will know that all of us know what they do. It's either you are waiting for your turn or you are a born awaiting criminal. There's no two way to it. Yeah? So the people of Kaduna would now have to wait for more revelations on how El Rufaya bankrupted Kaduna. So that to them, maybe this can help them to destroy his political chance of upstaging Tinubu. It is always all about next election for these criminals, never about the next generation. And that is why, from the Bloomberg report, which has been working very, very well on on supposed finance provided by the APC, but for some reason, they were able to come out today and tell all of us that, well, listen, Tinubu's policies that we told you is working. Last month, this was in March, Nigeria Naira was reported as the worst performing currency in the world. Well, rightly so. And that was when they said they were doing the floating of the Naira. So after floating and everything went south, Nigeria Naira became 1,000 Naira to, 1,900 Naira to $1. That was alarming. So what did they do? Let us go and take some money from here and there and then subsidize the exchange rate. Okay? And let us hope we could possibly, turn the tide, turn the ship from eating the economic iceberg. And that's exactly what they did. I don't know how much they have spent. But Bloomberg just told us now that Nigeria has withdrawn over $2.2 billion and $96 million from the Nigerian Foreign Reserve to defend the Naira. And this, according to Bloomberg, is actually a massive withdrawal that has never happened to the Nigerian foreign reserve in the last 4 years. The last 4 years, according to them, Nigeria has never withdrawn money from their forex like that. And according to the IMF, they said that Nigeria has about $32 billion. Before now, according to them as well, they said Nigeria had $34 billion. From that $34 billion in Nigeria's foreign reserve, Buhari's government already took a loan with Morgan Chase of America and then Goldman Sachs of America. Nobody knows what they did with the money, but they took about $7.5 billion. Oh dear. It was actually about $18 billion. But the way they worked it, they issued a treasury bond, which eventually, when it matures after 5 years, JP Morgan, Morgan Chase, right? Goldman Sachs, they can come and take that part of the money. But there is a particular one which was actually like cash. JP Morgan gave Emefiele of Nigeria, gave Nigeria Central Bank $500 million. That's JP Morgan. Goldman Sachs gave $7 billion to Nigeria. And it was given to the Central Bank of Nigeria. And the collateral they used was the Nigerian Foreign Reserve at the time. If we don't pay you this money, go and take our foreign reserve, no worry. So IMF now said, with all these existing commitments, Nigeria still have control over their money. And if nothing is done, genuinely done, economically in Nigeria, their money will be gone soon. And even the value of that $32 billion can only help Nigeria 6 months import. Your money there is actually like your own sort of a credit rating, sort of, right? So if Nigeria needs to import things, that's for the next 6 months. That's how long the foreign reserve can cover. After that, Nigeria ceases to exist if nothing is done. And from that money is what Tinubu and Adobe, they have taken out $2 billion and $98 million. To defend the Naira, so that you can read it in the newspaper tomorrow. The Nigerian Naira is now 1,000 Naira to $1. Of that, the dollars they were given out to their BDC and the rest of them generally is not reflecting. The importation and every other thing that Nigeria still depends on, which El Rufai also told us Nigeria has been paying subsidy. We don't know how much subsidy they have paid to Dangote as we speak. But he has agreed to help them sell cheap diesel. So even at that, once they sell some millions of liters of cheap diesel, that too will kind of make it look like things are going to get cheaper since all this, what I mean? It is all scheme, it's all scam. It is all an attempt that to cover up some other shady, dirty things they are doing secretly that will always have the economic impact sooner or later. They know what they are doing. You should know what they are doing too. And I just told you one of them. And you have to have an idea what that simply means. It simply means that they will continue to cover up and patch up until they can't patch up anymore. And Bloomberg said, if they continue this, now withdraw to over $2 billion. Dollars or not Naira in 29 days. See. How many days? How many days do you have in a year? Coming up. 30 days of September, April, June, and November. All the rest are 31, excepting February alone, which has 28 days and 29 days on each leap year. 365 days make, yes. 365 days in a year. 365 days. And in 29 days of trying to bring Nigeria Naira down to what you are seeing now, artificially, Nigeria spent 2 billion. Oh, yeah, do the math. Do the math. How much do you think is going to take them to keep it at that or reduce it further for the rest of the year? But actually, currency gains value when production increases and the demand for it also increases. That is how currencies gain value. Not through speculation and cover up, abracadabra, buyback. All of this, even if they were tried, I have economists on this platform. Tell me if I am lying. Okay, because one thing I kind of love about my life is that I am not somebody who knows everything. But Baba, I do my best to know something about everything. That's not an attempt to say you know everything. No, don't try to know everything. Nobody can know everything. Can there be? So I don't want to say that as a matter of fact. Can somebody know everything? No, I don't think so. Anyway, my brain or the average human brain can know everything. But here is the trick. Try to know something about everything that you come across. So important. So that at least you have an idea and you can dig in from that your little idea. It does help. It works for me. In this case. So we'll continue. And that is the Nigerian government, according to people who I have researched, though, they said that idea is not bad, though. If your economy want to begin to act funny, there are some measures, okay, that you have to put in place. And those measures, right, they are temporary, or else you are going to run your country aground. For example, cost of living that you know you can really help. Then you can subsidize food supply. You can subsidize all over the world. In the UK here, they subsidize our food. In the UK here, then they subsidize our petrol and all of that. But not be seen all the time. No. But they have a way of subsidizing them for us. Some of them, they subsidize them from the source by reducing the tariff those people pay, especially if they have to bring those things into the UK. So the UK government will reduce the tariff so that the amount of money we will pay will not be like, because traders don't really care. They can always put the cost on you, the consumers, right? And you, the consumers, are the citizens who are going to scream and say, what is the government doing? What is the government doing to help us? We are starving. We are hungry. So those measures are called subsidy. And they do help. There are those ones that you have to do temporarily. There are some you have to do like medium term, which means you can be like, you have to do them for like a straight 6 months or sometimes a year. There are long-term one, which is like permanent one. So once you get a temporary one going, you're already working on the medium one. Once the medium one is in place to take care of it, you stop the temporary one straight away. So you begin to save. Then while the medium one is in effect, right? You can say, okay, this medium process is going to last for 2 years, okay? So before it matures, right, your longer plan is already in play. You get up now. So with that, you can actually bring your country back from the brink of economic collapse. But Tinubu didn't do that. In fact, right before your very eyes, they were spraying themselves money. They were splashing the money about. They were like, I'm talking about billions of dollars, so trillions of naira. They were sharing it around and the money was gone for a country that has none. Are you with me? So they didn't really care And when they now felt like the whole ceiling was collapsing, crashing down, they now withdrawn their own policy secretly. The one they did, I mean, the policy they announced with so much fanfare, they had to secretly withdraw it. And when they withdrawn back and, back to their scheming, old, crooked way, hoping that you won't notice and you won't feel it. And that is why the dollar is reducing. What you have in the whole communities or in the whole country right now is that, a bag of rice has come down to 54,000. Where? My neighbor just bought two now. Where is your neighbor? Tell us where. Where did you buy it? Abeokuta. Where in Abeokuta? I cannot release the info now. I cannot release it online. No. You do not know that the Abubu sellers have been unleashed on you to start telling you news like this to make you feel like, okay, they said this is, but meanwhile, the real figure shows that the inflation has gone up. Because it's true. The Naira dollar that is, they told you, coming down is artificial. It is not organic. It is not the economy reacting. Nothing has happened in your economy that you can say. Your national grid continued to collapse. Dakudaji. What exactly would you say they have done physically that you can say as sort of, transcend or transformed into some level of power and strength behind the Naira? Nothing, other than they were taking money to defend the Naira by giving dollars to people who need the dollar and selling it to them how much they want to sell it to them. Not the dollar made from production in the country, money from your foreign reserve, money saved there before they came in. They are taking it to defend this so that they can look good to you. Now you have to start asking everybody, where did they sell rice for 50,000? Where did you buy your own Indomie for 11,000? They said Indomie has come down. They said Kiniko has come down, but not in my own area. How come? Oh, it must be the traders. These are our people. They are the heartless people. Our people are very, very heartless. Dollar is coming down now. When dollar was going up, they kept increasing and increasing and increasing. Dollar is coming down now. They are not reducing it because a lot of you will see somebody say that online. You do not know. They are the propagandists that will make you feel so stupid, confused, and then they help you point fingers. Who to blame? Why the price of food is not coming down? Not because of those who are performing the voodoo economy. Not them. A lot of you need a lot to know about that, okay? I have actually been talking for the past 75 minutes. That's quite a number. Let's take it a bit further where I can take a bit of break in between. After El Rufaya's days, listen to what your supposed finance minister had to say. He is lying, but this is how they talk. And this is how they tell people what they wanted to hear. And if you disagree, that means you didn't wish Nigeria well. You don't wish Nigeria well. You always love bad news. Why do you always love bad news about Nigeria? Instead of us to be happy. Instead of us to be happy that Nigerian Naira is coming down. But if it is bad news, they are talking to you. That is why this guy still has a job as a minister.
Of the World Bank, IMF group, and of course it's a gathering of the international elite, the international financial elite. We have the multilateral development institutions, World Bank, IMF, but also the bilaterals, the UK, the US, Germany, Europe. We have all those around the table discussing issues of, together with, of course, the developing countries. And on the agenda is development, is climate change, how to end extreme poverty, and of course, how to garner the resources internationally in order to achieve those goals. But secondly, and perhaps most importantly, the economic team of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is here to showcase the progress so far of his bold, courageous, and strategic reforms of the Nigerian economy in order to get it stabilized and get investment in to get it growing again. So, of course, we are here to emphasize what has been done so far. We've all seen what has happened in terms of stabilizing the exchange rate, and inflation, though it's still ticking up, is headed in the right direction. If you look closely at the numbers that came out yesterday, you'll see that there is a slowing of the rate of increase of food inflation. So things are moving in the right direction. Government revenues are up, even oil revenues are up, though not as much as we would like. So we're here really to present what the president has done so far and give an indication of what is to come. And I think also to give a sense of the optimism that is really the mood in Nigeria right now. Thank you.
Yes, sir. So obviously the administration of President Bola Tinubu has been receiving a lot of accolades from IMF and World Bank, as you have noted, in the direction. But what's next as you go there? You go there to present, okay, some of the fruits of the reforms. Of course, we are still expecting more as Nigerians. We still need a whole lot more. But what's next? What do you hope to come back home with as you begin conversations?
Thank you. Certainly. What is next is what matters most, and there's still a long way to go. We have seen some good signs of recovery, good signs that we're going in the right direction, but there is much more is needed before we get to achieving the real goal of Mr. President, which is growing the economy and reducing poverty. And for that, we need resources. We're here to sit around the table with financiers, multilaterals that have cheap financing, grant financing, even bilaterals, as well as to encourage investors. The important thing about these conversations here is that the world is watching, and a lot of investors, they take their cue from the kind of reactions and statements that come out from these types of gatherings. So as you've noticed, there have been very, very positive statements made about the progress that has been made, given the types of policies that have been implemented so far to come and invest in Nigeria. And we always emphasize the interest is in domestic investment, domestic Nigerians investing in the Nigerian economy, as well as, of course, foreigners who want to invest and add value are welcome.
So you also speak for Africa, Minister, because in the last IMF World Bank meeting, you were made heading the African ministers, finance ministers. So what is the agenda?
You know why he's smiling, Zobo Zobo? Now, mad people, they smile like that, okay? When they tell you that already be Zobo Zobo. Like that. What is his name again? I forgot his name. It doesn't matter. Anyway, your minister. They are so happy to be taking economic advice